Okay, everyone. All right, we're officially at 6 now. We're going to run for about an hour. Not sure how long the actual plan stuff will take, but then we'll do like a Q&A afterwards. So save all your questions until the end, and then we'll run through them. Okay, really looking forward to this. Thanks very much, Supliful, for having me doing this. I have a big fan of Supliful before even doing this. So super pumped to get started. Okay, so it'll be good to get an idea of where you guys are in terms of your business, in terms of your ecom brand. Okay, like where are you? Let me know. Have we launched already? Are we already generating billions of pounds? Come on, guys, let me know. Whereabouts are we in terms of your e-commerce journey? Might help me a little bit in terms of catering what I'm saying, because I don't just want to be telling you guys things that you already know. Early stages, site about to run ads. Love it. Launch, but struggling. Launch, generating 10 sales. Look, a sale's a sale. Doesn't matter how many there is. I'm about to launch in November. Love it. Already scaling my store. 200K a month. Hello. Yes, Jill. Not generating millions yet. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. But I want to start a supplement brand. Lovely. Well, you're in the right place, aren't you? Early stages, launch, starting to sell. Love this, guys. Amazing. Creative strategist working with a 2 million a month brand looking to scale. Blimey. Okay. Okay. You know what, guys? Okay. I am super psyched for this. I think this is going to help a lot of you, whether you're just starting, whether you're already generating a load of sales. I'm super pumped to start this. Okay. So, hello, my name's Fraser. I run Fraggell. We are an ad creative agency based here in the UK, but we work with brands all over the world, primarily in the US and Europe. So we're responsible for about 300 million in revenue for our clients in the D2C and CPG space. We make ads from all styles, which is why a lot of people come to us, from high production stuff all the way to lo-fi UGC and statics. So we literally just moved into a 2,500 square foot studio space that we've spent the past like 3 months doing up into our dream studio space, which allows us to continue making incredible production value content for our clients. So I'm super excited about that. You can follow along the journey on my socials for that. But man, it's going to be mega. We work with a lot of CPG brands, Aloha, Chomps, just to name a few in like the food and beverage space. So let's talk about what we're actually going to be doing, right? So just again, some more of these here. Solar Wave, Maileys, Aloha, Maxi Nutrition, Govee, True Earth, just to name a few of our incredible clients that we work with at Fraggell. And what's coming up? What are we actually going to be talking about? So this was advertised as me building a brand live using Supliful. Okay. So I'm guessing most of you already have figured out, the whole using Supliful thing, because it's super easy, right? But away from that, how do we put together creative strategy? So we're going to be briefly going over making the product, what it looks like, what product are we actually going to be focusing on? And then we're going to be talking about the research. How do we do the research in order to get in order to make good ads? And then we're going to be going over the production stuff. So what fast wins can we do for all you people that have just started right now, or you want to start ads? Like, where do you even start with your creative? What are those quick wins that you can do? And then we're going to talk about longer production. So the type of stuff that we do at Fraggell, UGC ads, high production video ads, all this kind of stuff. That's what we're going to be talking about when it comes to longer production. Okay. So the product, the main thing, what Supliful actually help with. Okay. So let me know here, who is using a Supliful product? Give me in the chat what products you're selling. You don't need to pre-workout. Love that. Amazing. I don't work out, so I'm pre-workout. Mushroom supplement, brilliant. Fermented mushroom blend, love it. Amazing. Energy drink mix, great. Turmeric gummies, charcoal cleanse, energy drinks, creatine, collagen, beetroot powder. Oh man, there's loads here. This is amazing. coffee, brain. What to start with the vegan protein? Okay, so lots of different stuff. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about, I did some research on this site and I found there was a lot of new products there. And one of them that really tickled my fancy was the caffeine gummies. Okay, so this is a pre-buy product at the moment only, which means that, you know, you have to put in an order. Okay, so minimum order quantity is 2,500. So you have to be pretty certain that you're going to be able to sell some of these to invest. So I picked this because I think it has some great potential. I think that the idea of, you know, just in terms of what's happening in the market, like everyone wants caffeine. Not everyone wants coffee. It comes with a lot of downsides. Not everyone wants the, you know, sugar that comes in energy drinks. Not everyone even likes the taste of energy drinks. Okay. But also one of the main things is that slow release of caffeine, right? Coffee, energy drinks hit you like a train. So the great thing about these caffeine gummies is it's slow release. So I've also decided to opt for their label design service, which they have. And so here's what they created me. So the guys at Supliful made me this. It's called Buzzin'. I'm buzzing. Love it. Energy gummy. So this is the label that they created for me. This is one of the mock-ups that they made as well. So this is the product that we're going to be building everything around. And that is really how easy it is with Supliful to actually start creating stuff. I'm sure many of you have already gone through this already, but it's super easy. So now that we've got the product, okay, that's out of the way. I'm not here to talk about building a product. What I'm here to talk about is building fantastic ads. All right. And it all starts at the research stage. Okay. So how many of you guys in the chat have actually started some kind of creative research away from just your product? Like, this is what my product does. Like, how many of you have taken it a step further and started to do some creative research to help with those ads? Would love to know this. A little bit, not too much. Jason saying, yes, I have. Hands up straight away. He's got it. Love this. This is the start of everything, okay? Looked into industry trends, searchability, love this. Yeah, great. Went through a bunch of competitors on TikTok Shop. That's a fantastic way to do it. I made an ebook about gut health to go along with mine. Very clever. YouTube channel ads. Yes, love it. I do creative research every day, study different brands like High Smile. High Smile are a fantastic brand to look at when it comes to ad creative because they churn out so much ad creative. It is a little bit mad how much ad creative those guys put out. So creative strategy is all about the research that you do on your customer. Okay, so what we want to find out here is what makes them tick. Right? Because if we learn more about them, we'll have a better understanding of how we market to them. And that's what the important part is here when it comes to ad creative and creative research, creative strategy in general. The main things that we want to identify here is why people buy your product and who buys your product. Because they're the two things, right? We want to target the right people, so we need to know who buys your product. And also why people are buying your product. So let's take some examples here that, you know, that people kind of went through in the chat before, right? We had beauty, personal care, mushroom gummies, cleanser facial oil serum, beetroot powder, collagen, energy drinks, charcoal cleanse. There's a load here. Sleep. That's a great one, right? So why are people buying your product? Because they have bad sleep. They can't sleep. They struggle to sleep. They struggle to stay asleep. They struggle to get asleep. How's that affecting them? They feel drowsy in the morning. They can't give their 100% every single day. Who buys your product? Well, that's about doing the research and finding out why people aren't sleeping. Perhaps it's someone with a medical problem. See, we can really start to go down the rabbit hole when we look at why people buy your product. So don't overcomplicate things. That's what's really important here, right? We want to identify the two key things: why people buy your product and who buys your product. Okay. So I did a bit of research and I've put together some basic information. Okay. So the age range of people that I think will take my caffeine gummies is 18 to 45 year olds. I think that's a solid age range. I don't think we're really kind of struck by genders. I'm pretty sure that any gender could have this. Maybe a slight skew towards the younger adults, 18 to 30, because normally they're more into adopting things sooner than others. Income level, I don't really think too much about income level, just because I think you can sell to anyone really. Again, in terms of geographic, I think the only thing here that matters is most people that are potentially going to be having this are people that live busy lives. People that live busy lives tend not to be living in the countryside. Okay. But lifestyle traits, they're really important. So a busy on the go person, they're health conscious, they're active, they're productivity focused as well, potentially. And the pain points, these are really important because this is how we can start to build our ideas. So, they want to avoid those traditional caffeine sources, like we said, like coffee and energy drinks, right? A big one for me, I don't really ever have caffeine, right? And the reason for that is because of the anxiety and the jitters that come with it. It really affects me. And so a solution to have the benefits of caffeine without that sounds great. Easy portion control is another reason why people might want a product like ours. It's just one in, done. You don't have to have this big fizzy drink or this massive hot coffee. All right. And that links back into the ease of consumption as well. Brandon said, is this like identify our dream customer? I wouldn't say it's quite like identifying your dream customer rather than your customer, right? Like there's this old thing in marketing. I remember doing this when I was in university, which is like, who's your perfect customer? Oh, well, this is Sandra. She's 30. She lives in blah, blah, blah. I don't like to do that personally because I just don't really see the point. I think more what we need to think is more of a general and focusing more on those lifestyle traits and the pain points. Why are people buying this instead of your dream customer? Let's talk about your customer. There are people out there which are buying products like yours already. So one of my favorite places to learn about the product is the reviews. Okay. You can find amazing use cases inside your reviews that can lead to some brilliant ideas. Okay. Since this is a new brand, you guys might be in the same boat. We're going to use a competitor for this. Okay. So here's a competitor I found with a quick Google, Energy Bites. They're called, very creative name. So we are going to use their reviews to find out some use cases and to learn a bit more about our customer. Okay, so you guys can do this for your brand. Find some competitors, look at their reviews. Potentially you're already selling, you already have reviews, and now you just want to, make some new creatives. Then go to your reviews. Your reviews are always going to be better than competitors because, it's your product. Okay, so we want to find some reviews, and as a bit of a what I usually do with this is I read through reviews and I get some way to highlight them. So even if it's like, on my screen or on my iPad, whatever, I just highlight all the important bits of the review. Okay, and this kind of helps me identify what they're actually talking about, and then I transfer them to a list. Okay, so you guys can do this like right now. You can do this along with me if you want, but what I've done is I've gone away and I've picked some reviews out. Okay, so these are actually from their website. I've just put them into the deck so they're easier to consume. So I've been taking these for 2 weeks. You can see where I've highlighted the important bits during my ultra training. I don't like to eat during my long runs, so these have been perfect for me. They allow me to run for up to 8 hours without needing to stop to eat something, which really messes up my stomach. Can you see how this is a gold mine? Like, go to be totally honest with you, going into this and when I picked this product, I thought the main customer was going to be like working people that just, instead of having a coffee, they just take one of these and they get a bit of a buzz, right? And they feel a bit better. That's what I was thinking was going to be the majority of customer. But after doing this and after reading these reviews, I very quickly found out that really isn't the best use case for this. Because over and over again, and you'll notice this through the reviews, is that sports keeps on coming up, runners keep on coming up, people that are doing active sports where they need, some kind of kick, cycling, stuff like that, right? So she's been taking these for 2 weeks during her ultra training. So this isn't just a park run kind of person. This is a hard athlete who is, really training for this stuff. So that gives us a nice demographic, a nice use case there to target people, because that's a really, that's like a proper targeted approach, isn't it? Not everyone is running ultra marathons. Okay. So they said they eat these during their long runs. It's been perfect for me because they don't like to eat during their runs. I know my brother used to cycle. I know like halfway through they used to stop and they used to have a coffee, right? You get that caffeine kick, you go again. but then you're cycling on a stomach full of like hot liquid, potentially milk. It's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Whereas one of these, you can just pop it in and happy days. Okay. So another one, these little drops of energy really work. I will take one when I need a lift at work and right before I go into the gym. So there we go. That's the use case that I thought. Need a little lift at work. I'm sure we've all been there. Have a little caffeine gummy, happy days. Okay. But then he mentioned before he goes to the gym. Like, think about this, how much easier it is to have like a tub of these gummies in your car and just knock one back before you go in. When I did used to go to the gym, not very often, but I did used to go, I used to see people with energy drinks all the time. They'd be knocking back this like fizzy Monster or, this, Red Bull, whatever. And it can't be good for you when you're an athlete. Okay. So we're starting to identify some use cases here. Okay. But what I'm also looking for when it comes to creative strategy is how can I make this review into a video? Okay. Or into a static ad? How can I actually do something with this? So here, I mean, this is basically a base for like a UGC video. You can have someone talking about how, I always found myself really tired at work and I could never get past the 3 p.m. slump. So I found these and this is what I've been using to get over that. And then I take another one before I go to the gym to really get me to perform at my best. That entire video just came from a review. These gummies are great on my long runs. Again, long runs coming up once again. It gives me a boost of energy when I need it. No nasty side effects. They taste great too. Highly recommend. So you can see these commonalities that keep on coming up, right? This could be reviews that have come from, a competitor. Remember, they could be targeting just runners, which is why we're seeing this commonality, which is why I'm saying using your own reviews is great because you kind of know a bit more of the backstory. Okay. But where we are right now, we don't have any of this. And so what we're doing is we are using those competitors to give us the good reviews. Okay. So got another one here for you. I was skeptical at first as I use gels as part of my nutrition plan for longer runs. Again, we're back on the run game here, but also now we've got an old way of doing something, a problem. Okay. These gels that they used to use, cyclists use this all the time. My brother used to use these and they're not great. They come in a big plastic tube. You throw them away afterwards. They're not known to taste great. They said an advert popped up for Energy Bites, caught my eye. Looked like a great innovative product. I decided to try the variety pack to give me all the flavors to try. Honestly, the product has not disappointed. It's a great alternative to conventional gels as it's fast acting and easy to consume and tastes incredible. So we can use all these points here in order to help us build some creative angles and start to put the pieces together. Okay. So are you guys with me still? Like, I haven't sent you all to sleep with what's going on here. We're all good. Everyone totally understands, makes sense, perfect. Okay. Has anyone done this already? Is this already part of people's creative strategy? We'll love to know. Get in, get on the chat. Let me know. Like, lovely. Yeah. My creative team do this all the time. Like, going through the reviews, a great way to really level this up. Actually, if you can export your reviews into like a spreadsheet, a great thing to do here is import them into ChatGPT. I'm not the biggest fan of using AI, but a great way is to import all of these into ChatGPT and get it to analyze them and say, analyze all these reviews and let me know what the most popular pain point is or what the most popular problem that my product has solved. ChatGPT AI in general is really great to go through a lot of information very quickly that will take you much longer to do it. And if you program it correctly, then you can get some really great results here. So put all those reviews, pop them into ChatGPT, happy days. In fact, what we often do is we have a custom GPT set up for all of our clients, and we just consistently drop in more information so they can like learn about the brand more. And then we could just ask it questions as if, they're working at the brand, and we can just ask them questions and we can get feedback pretty quickly. So I'd suggest potentially doing something like that for yourself. So another way to conduct very similar research here is to use your comments on your ads. If you are running ads, you're putting spend behind them, you're getting a lot of engagement, you're getting comments. So go through them, see what people are saying, and you will see the problems that people are saying, even reviews that they're leaving in there. You know, I remember doing research for an educational brand that we were working with at the time, and I remember going through their comments, and people were like, "Oh, you know, this is really fantastic for my for my son that has Down syndrome. It's really great to be able to sit down with them and learn with them." And we'd never even thought about targeting people with learning difficulties or anything like that. And so this really helped us kind of get on a different track and start to target a different type of consumer. Again, organic content doesn't always have to be yours. It could just just search on TikTok. Someone mentioned here that they were doing creative research on TikTok. That can be something that you can do. Just put in, for me, it would be caffeine gummies into TikTok, see what people are saying, see what type of content that people are making, like happy days, right? There's such an easy way to do it. And one that people don't often think about is Reddit. My God, Reddit is an absolute gold mine for this kind of stuff because people will post anything in there. So go through it, see what people's problems are having. Go into, a Reddit about running and maybe even ask a question in there. Does anyone know a great, caffeine gummy? Has anyone tried caffeine gummies? And almost fish for some research. So our goal here is basically to obtain real world use cases, which we can then base an ad on. Okay, that's what the idea is, because there's no better way to connect with your customer than listening to your customer and basing your content around it. Okay, let's move on to the production part of stuff. So we've done all that creative research. Was that clear? Does anyone have any really brewing questions that they want to get answered right now before we move on to the next part? I know we're going to do a big Q&A at the end, but I just want to make sure that everyone understands and I'm not just rushing through this stuff, because now we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty. This is my favorite stuff. We produce 400 plus ads every single month at Fraggell. And so I'm pretty passionate about this stuff. So we're going to be going through some really cool ways. We're even going to be making some ads live. So before we move on, is everybody clear on how you do creative research? We've got the thumbs up. We've got a clear from Robert. Love that. Amazing. Yes. Clear for now. Great. Up for now. Okay. All right. Great. Nice. Okay. So production, let's talk about it. It's the best part. So if you want to make an ad right now, after this talk, wait, don't go anywhere, then statics are your best friend. And the reason for that is because you can take everything that we learn before in the research stage and you can turn that into a static ad in a couple of super easy steps. All right, if you're a graphic designer already, or you're a little bit handy with Canva or Figma, easy peasy. And the best part is that Supliful gives you mock-ups of your product already. Okay. So the easiest way to do this is with a product that I helped found called CreativeOS. Some of you might have heard of it. You might have used it. But essentially what this is it is just a website full of ready to use templates. Okay. You can open these in Canva, in Figma, whatever. You can just scroll through the endless amount of static templates that we have in there. You can open them in Canva, you can edit them, add in all your own branding, add in your copy, good to go, done. Okay, when it comes to images, we have a few options. Like I mentioned, Supliful, they give you some great mock-ups that allow you to get started really quickly without having to even, have your product. But nothing beats a real image. All right. I know AI is super hot and everyone wants to talk about AI, but nothing beats a real one. So, send your product to a photo studio or, to yourself, whatever, and get some basic product images. Product images are the lifeblood of many e-commerce brands if you can do them well. But talking about AI, I've been using a tool called Curate, which is basically a way to make product images with AI. It is super cool. I have to say, and we'll do a little demo later and I'll show you how that works. I'm not affiliated with Qrates. I am, however, a co-founder of CreativeOS. So do make sure that you check out both of these. I think they're great tools, CreativeOS more than any, because in my opinion, it's more useful because we've got static templates on there. We've got email templates, lander templates, everything. It is a real like creative operating system for you. So yeah, if you want those quick wins, using static ads is the easiest way to do it because we use the research that we have. Brandon said I use CreativeOS. Happy days. Brilliant. Hope you like it. It's amazing. It's super useful, isn't it? It's great. So when it comes to longer productions, there's a few things that we can go into, but what I really want to show you, actually, let's go back. What I do really want to show you is, actually making an ad using these tools. Okay. So first of all, I want to go into Qrates and I want to show you what this looks like. Okay. So inside Qrates, okay, this is Ad Creative AI before. It's not that good. Definitely try out these tools. Yeah, a lot of them aren't great. So Qrates is like probably the first one that I've used, which is actually pretty good. So like, for example, right, like I wanted it in a gym. So my prompt here was a bottle of gummies sat on a weightlifting bench inside a gym, dark, moody lighting. And this is what it came up with. Pretty good. You can upscale it. You can get a proper high res one. I think that's usable, right? That's fairly usable. But then we have other examples like this that just aren't usable at all because they look mental. Like bottle sits on a purple background with soft shadows. Female hand is coming in to take into the shot, looking like it's about to grab the bottle. Like, what is going on here? This is the issue with AI. I think we'll all agree that we've had some like janky stuff from here. This is why I said getting proper images, yourself is one of the best ways to do it. I did make this one for one of our clients, which I think is really solid. I think that's like a really good image. So you can use this stuff and you can pop it into your ads, and I think it does work. Let's show you CreativeOS now. So CreativeOS is, like I mentioned, a great way to source templates in order for you to make ads. So this is what CreativeOS looks like. So you can see there's a ton of ads in here that you can, potentially use, right? So we go through and we source these and our designers make them into templates. You can really kind of go into granular detail here in terms of like what they are. A PR call out, these ones are great. Love these ones. Feature and benefits, probably one of the most popular of ads, I'd argue. There's a ton of great, like this one. You can very easily make that into your product, right? So let's have a look at one that I made before. It was in Canva. Let's have a look. Where are we? Here we are. Okay. So this was the ad that I grabbed off CreativeOS, and then I made this, right? It took me quite literally 5 minutes. Okay. So meet the gummies that power your day. And then I literally went through and I picked a load of key selling points here that I thought worked really well. Okay. So that's how easy it is to make those fast and easy wins. All right. So like I said, like you would be silly. All right. You would be so silly to not make static ads. You don't have to use CreativeOS. Go and design your own stuff. This isn't just a big plug for my tools here. Like, there's a ton of other solutions that do similar stuff, even though we were the first ones. But what I'm saying here is that static ads are the easiest win, and you can tool that with your Supliful mockups to make some great ads without even ever touching the product. Okay, but let's talk about the longer production. So this is where agencies like Fraggell, my own agency, can step in to help you with this, because it can be really difficult, or you can do this yourself. We're talking UGC, high production, whatever. So using that information that we found before, let's make a UGC video together. So we need 2 core things. So get your notepads out, everyone. So we need a script, we need a shot list. They're the 2 core things that you need in a UGC video. And then you can format that into a brief, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I wrote a script. Okay. So I went and I found some like similar ads in the niche that I thought might be quite handy. Okay. So here's what I'm picturing for this one. So my idea was runners love like influential type of videos, right? They love to get like pumped up, right? So I wanted this to come across quite organic. I wanted people to feel feel something, basically. So running is one of the hardest things I've ever taken up. I go from feeling on top of the world to never wanting to put my running shoes on again. This run was one of those. I had to force myself to get ready and take the first steps. But today I was trying something new. Now we're linking in the product, right? So they might have watched that whole thing without even thinking it's an ad. I picked up these caffeine gummies. So instead of chugging a gel while I'm mid-run, I'm going to eat one of these to keep me going. I'll report back. It feels very organic, right? I wrote this in 2 minutes. Like, I know that I have the experience of doing this for years and years, but when you've watched enough ads, it's all about consuming the media that you want to make. Once you'll start to get some kind of idea. And then I want her in the car after she's finished the run, sweaty, looking like she's had a great run, managed to do a new PB on this trail I've been running for the past few weeks. I actually feel great. I took 2 of these during my run, one near the start and one at my final mile mark. And I really felt the difference. It was way easier to take. I didn't have a horrible crash either time, 100% bringing these on every run. That feels organic, right? And the reason it feels organic is because it's written in the language. I kind of know in my head that I want this to be a female. I want this to be probably someone like millennial. And so, I mean, it helps that I'm a millennial, that I can write like this. However, I can almost, how I write scripts anyway, is I literally try and picture myself inside the video and like, what would I say? What would I say if I was doing this? Okay. So once we've got the script, okay, we can start to think about what shots we want. Now, this is where a lot of people fall down when it comes to UGC videos, because they use platforms where, they will they do all the stuff for you, or you basically hand over a script to a creator and you just let them run with it. I think that is the worst way to make UGC videos. I think you should go into this having a clear idea of what you want to create and what you want in your head, and a shot list is a great place to start. Okay, because a shot list, you are going to outline every single shot you want the creator to shoot, because you know exactly then what you're going to get back, and you know exactly what you can start to craft. So here's what my shot list looks like. All right, so I've listed a lot of the shots. We're normally giving a creator 10 to 20 shots that they need to shoot away from the main talk to camera stuff. So my idea here is we're going to have her voiceover at the start, like we spoke about here. I want this over a load of B-roll footage. I want this to feel a bit like a vlog. I want this to feel like they're making a diary video. All right. And then after that in the car, it's just going to be her talking. So with that in mind, we're going to be turning the camera around on herself. She's about to start a run. This is quite a millennial, like Gen Z thing to do, is shooting on the wide angle camera. And then you kind of see them turning it on themselves. Like, I think that's great. I think it'll make it look really organic. Running past the camera. So pop the camera down and run past it. Tying up your shoes, getting dressed and ready for the run, putting in your headphones, pacing, trying to get ready to start, doing some stretching, showing your Apple Watch, starting the run, film your feet running when you're on the run, film yourself running on the wide lens again, flipping it round, running, show the gummies in your bag, show the gummies in your hand. We'd probably go into more detail here and list some more, like show us a single gummy, show us, blah, blah, blah. Can you see the detail I'm going into here? Most people will just share this. They'll just go, this is what I want. Here's an example video. Bye. Like, do the work for me. If you really want to make converting ads, you have to go into this detail. You have to do this type of stuff. And it helps if you can then edit it as well. CapCut's free. Go and learn how to edit. Okay. Giving it to a creator just to do everything, I don't think is the best idea, because they don't share the same vision as you. They don't have the same understanding as the brand as you. And as much as you can educate them to do that, the chances are you're never going to work with this person again. So they're not going to have the right commitment. Okay. Whereas working with an agency, hate to plug an agency here, but my agency, we're working with clients over like 3, 6 months, 12 months, whatever. We can get invested in the brand and we can learn the brand. Okay. But yeah, learn how to do this stuff yourself, okay? And doing a shot list like this is the first way to do that, okay? So then when you're casting a creator, so what we normally do is we use platforms like Backstage and Star Now and Twitter to cast the creative. Like I mentioned, some editors will create and edit the videos for you. You can do it yourself and you just request the raw footage. That's what we do. We just hire someone from Backstage, usually an actor, to be totally honest. We send them the brief, the script, the shot list, everything. And then we say, just send us back the raw footage. We'll do everything else. Okay. Once you've done that, you should have a great ad that speaks to your customers and their pain points. Okay. So let's go back to that script. And before we spoke about, we want to target runners. So we're literally showing them going on a run. We want to talk about their pains, that it's really difficult for them to get started and to make those first steps sometimes. That's what I got from doing my research on runners. I'm not a runner myself. And then we said about the gel. Do you remember in that review when they were saying about they used to use these gels? We've got that in there. We've learned that from our research. Okay. People were saying in the reviews as well that they used to have a horrible crash from typical caffeine-based products. This one we say we don't have a horrible crash either. Okay. So all that research that we did at the start, we're coming back now to write this script. All right. So once you've casted it, Backstage, whatever, you've edited it, you should have an amazing ad that you can then move forward with, make some variations on, test it, happy days. Okay. So we're wrapping up now. In conclusion, all right, what have we learned? So we've learned how to research our product's customers and find those key learnings to make better ads that speak to our demographic. We've used templates to make static ads really easily. We've also wrote a converting script for a UGC video. All right, that's it. We're done. That's it. That's my big talk over. Okay. So we'll move into a bit of a Q&A now. So any questions that you guys have built out throughout this, I would love to hear. Feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A section. Either way, it would be great to hear from you. And let's move into a Q&A. So does anyone have any questions or just want to chat about something? Let me know. Happy to answer absolutely anything here. Let's have a look. We do have some stuff in the Q&A. Anonymous attendee, that's a funny name, said, does CreativeOS have a Shopify app for landing pages? Unfortunately not. They are just like Figma templates that you then have to build out into a creative, but we are partnering with some great people soon. What's your take on 11 Labs? 11 Labs is actually great. It is so good. You can do some really cool stuff, but you do just have to be careful in terms of how you phrase things. I'll tell you what, let me just jump into one of our clients' ads here, and I'll show you what 11 Labs is capable of, because it is really like mind-blowing. I think like when you actually, when you do it properly, 11 Labs can be really great, and it's a really great way to make content if you have a lot of stuff already, if that makes sense. So we use it for like mashup material quite a lot. Let me see whether I can grab that. Let's carry on. Actually, I'll find that in a second. What else have we got here? How are you creating your scripts and shot list? Google Docs. Literally Google Docs. The reason for that is because everyone knows how to use Google Docs. We're often sending it to a lot of different people. And so everyone just knows how to use it. You don't need anything fancy. For briefs, what we usually do is we give background on the brand, who they are, what they do. We throw some examples in there of ads that we like. So we use Foreplay for that in order to share those over. And then we have, what else do we have on there? Yeah, we just have some directions on like how to film the best stuff, like what to do with lighting, etc. And then we have the script, and then we have the shot list. So we do try and find examples wherever we can. because this helps the creator actually get an idea of what we want. So even if it's just like a print screen of a video or a Google image, whatever, we just want to find some examples, basically. Okay. Sahid, I think his name, running paid Instagram ads, how much daily spend is effective in your experience? Consider that I'm just starting out, don't have a massive budget. Man, it's whatever you can afford. That's what the effective budget is. Don't bankrupt yourself about this stuff. You know, like I've run ads for my newsletter where I've had £10 a day. I've had ads, you know, helped on ads that have, you know, £10,000 a day. It really truly is whatever you can afford. So don't overthink it. Just get some stuff in there and, you know, make them, you know, get some stuff in there and just see what works. That's what's important. There's no right or wrong answer for this kind of stuff. Okay. Alex Chen said, how does high production stuff work? Do you still follow hook, problem, solution, structure for a backpack brand? So with high production, there's a few ways you can do it. So you have like a product focused video, product showcase videos we call it, which is basically just like nice shots of the product with some captions or some voiceover. For that, normally what you do with the captions is you just try and write them in the same way that you'd write your static captions. You just want them to, you know, to just grab people basically. But you can, like, people think overthink like high production. We, you know, sometimes do essentially a UGC video script, but we just film it high production, just because that extra production value just allows us to target a different demographic and make people think differently about the product. So don't overthink it. Just whatever you find works. If problem solution just works for you, then it doesn't matter what format it's in. It just helps you reach a different type of customer. Brandon said, what platforms could you recommend to advertise on? I know Facebook, Instagram is good, but what about Twitter and YouTube? Yeah, obviously Meta is number one. TikTok is probably number two, I'd say, just in terms of how effective they can be. YouTube pre-roll is great. It's quite expensive though, and often you need much higher production value in order to stand out on YouTube. So do bear that in mind. But in terms of lower barrier to entry, Meta and TikTok are probably the best places to go. What else have we got here? A rough idea of how much an agency would charge for a 15 to 30 second ad. Very few agencies will just make you one-off ads because it's basically pointless. Like, go and do that yourself. Agencies are best when you need some scale and you need some help in order to get there. But you know, you can just work with an editor on an hourly basis, whatever. For us, our minimum price to come in and, you know, us make your creative, you know, isn't cheap. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, like, we work with big brands that are spending over 50K every single month. And if you are one of those, feel free to get in touch with us. Fraggell.com, Fraggell.com. There's my plug, over and done with. Jill, for the image ads, which approach works better? Mention the benefits or only the customer reviews? Both of them. Customer benefits will help them realize why the product is great for them. Customer reviews will help with social proof and them to trust you. That's really important, especially if they've never, ever heard of you before, which is often the case with ads. People just have no idea who you are. Go into it with that. You are not Apple. You are not Dyson. Nobody knows who you are. So social proof is very, very important. Adam said, how would you, now that you have created the ad and product, use factors or negative to importance of company reviews, which people look for? I'm not sure what you mean there, Adam. Rephrase that one for us, mate. What have we got here? Scott said, as an experienced video editor, where it's more natural for you to create highly converting videos, do you still mix static videos or lean towards? Every single account needs needs a diverse amount of creative. Doesn't matter whether you're the best video editor on the planet, whatever. Like, you need statics, you need video, you need carousel, you need everything. Okay? Like, that's That's what you need to do. You need a diverse ad account. Okay, so keep that in mind. You want everything. Top of the funnel is usually great for video. Retargeting is usually statics. Anonymous, can you recommend a company that helps provide actual user reviews? Your customers will leave those reviews. Reviews.io, great plugin. You can pop in and people can leave reviews on your products. What else have we got here? Adam Crosby, is there a way a startup brand company can pick your brain further on a personal level? Yes, there sure is. I will go through the chat in a minute, by the way, and get those questions. You can just leave them in the Q&A though. Yes, there is, Adam. You can book a consultancy session with me. If you head over to my Twitter, I'll pop it in the chat. That's like the best place, kind of where all my links are. If you pop over to my Twitter, that's my username there. Feel free to head over there. There's a lot of links there. Just reach out to me in the DMs if you want. Just say that you came from the Supliful and we can set up a time to chat. That's probably the best place to do it. You can have me on LinkedIn as well. Just search out my name. I'll be there. But consultancy sessions or just working with my agency, whatever. Prime Glow. I have a few posts on my Instagram page. Should I start running Facebook ads? Do you mean promoting those as Facebook ads? I would suggest against that. I'd run them separately as ads inside Facebook Ad Manager. Basically, the promote button is just there for Facebook to make money. So don't do that. David, maybe one of them. What do you think about AI actors for UGC? Don't do it. Don't use them for a start. It's against regulations now, unless you like declare that it's an AI creator. I wouldn't use them. I've tried it. I've tried all the websites. I've spoken to these people, the founders of them. I am yet to get one that actually looks real enough for me to go ahead and use. Also, a lot of the time they can't hold your product or anything like that, which I think is essential. It's not worth the time of you trying to make it sound and look real. You may as well just go and figure it out for yourself and actually hire a creator. If it's because of cost, honestly, like, the best thing to do is to just look on Fiverr, look everywhere. There will be people which will do it cheaper for you. Don't just use AI because it's, it costs you, little to nothing. Adam, I've been pushing ads on TikTok, created a video ad from Fiverr, getting a few thousand impressions and clicks on the website, but not a single conversion. I know this must be a common experience, but how do I know when a creative or a product is capable of even garnering a sale? I think you need to look at your conversion rate on your website to see potentially that might be a problem. If you're getting a lot of clicks but no conversions, then it sounds like a landing page problem. Because people are interested, the creative's working. I look at things like your hook rate as well to see whether you're actually grabbing people's attention. I know that this can be really difficult, but just honestly, keep on at it. The more that you just keep on going and keep on making and testing different stuff. One ad isn't enough. Test out a load of different ones, because then you'll start to find out if something is worth it or not. Scott Fisher, for traction and speed of testing, do you have a style of static ad for top of the funnel? Benefit rich stuff is always great. Benefit call out content, social proof is also great. Like PR stuff is really good. Often for top of the funnel, I would always go video, just because either way, you just want to educate. Essentially, that's what you want to do. You want to educate people on why your product is the best. Okay. Adam, say for Get Buzz and Energy, when people look for reviews, this is a new supplement which has no reviews, which will have thought, doubt, and legitimacy. How do you operate around that? You kind of said it yourself there. You are kind of fighting a losing battle. Like, the best thing that you can do is potentially just get your mates to try it and get them to leave a review. Hand out a load of discount codes for them to purchase through the website and then leave a review. So it's a real one. But it is difficult. It is kind of just about getting people through the door, and really pushing for reviews in order to get that going. If I was to start this brand, I would get the product to as many people as I can do via Shopify so that they can then leave like an actual verified review, even if it means gifting out some products for people to leave reviews as well. There's a few different ways to do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jason just said in the chat, I offer $5 off your next purchase for a review. Exactly. Anything like that can really help. Alex, do you ever script 2+ minute long VSLs? Yes, we've done them in the past. We're working on a few like 1.5 minute ones right now. Education is the number one thing. You want to educate people on your product and why this is a great product, and also you want to scare people into what happens if they don't buy your products. We've got about 10 minutes left, so get in your last few questions. Anonymous attendee, again, there's a lot of people with the same name in this place. What do you recommend for an apparel brand to focus on in ads? Typical problem solution, benefits don't really tend to lend themselves. I would look at a brand called Boys, what are they called? Boys. Oh, what are they called? There's an amazing apparel brand, and I know the founder, and I can't remember what they're called. Boys something. It's like a mental health apparel brand, because they have some great ads. Boys Get Sad Too. Boom. Okay, look at Boys Get Sad Too. They sell hoodies and t-shirts, and they have some really great ads, and they tend to think outside the box when it comes to their creative, because it is difficult, because you don't have a problem solution. You're basically selling people on the design. Just make your stuff look really good, and people will buy it because of that. Think why you bought the last piece of clothing, probably because you thought it looked nice, and so that's why people will do it. But you can point out the usual stuff like great fabric, blah, blah, blah. But if you have a good story as well to go along with it, that can help people as well. Just think about why you bought the last piece of clothing that you did, and then work back from there. Prime Glow. So should you recommend for me to start on a Facebook ads? Fresh start. I don't have a few pages on my Instagram. It does not matter about your followers. Does not matter about sorry, let me read that question properly. I skimmed that. So, so should you recommend me starting creating Facebook ads? I'm a fresh starter and have few posts on my Instagram page and around 1,000 followers. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter how many posts you have. Go and run some actual Facebook ads. That's the best way to do it. Okay. So that's all the ones inside the Q&A. So I'm just going to move quickly to the chat here just to move through these. What platforms would you recommend? We did that one. When testing a new ad creative, to size your testing budget, do you take into account the minimum number of conversions, 50, to properly test that creative? Look, testing creative is just all about having a look at those soft metrics like your hook rate and click-through rate, and seeing if that feels like it's going to be a winner. If it gets purchases, happy days. Does that purchase price look profitable? I'm no media buyer. I'm not the best. When I test creative, I'm just looking at the creative metrics to see whether this works or not. Dora Denny on YouTube, she's fantastic, comes from a media buying background, much better at this content on YouTube, so check her out. Other than ChatGPT, what else do you use for creative? Nothing else. Well, 11 Labs, ChatGPT are probably the only things that we use day to day. In terms of actual tech stack, we use Foreplay for sharing our ads, creating swipe files, all that, just because it's the best out there, I think. And then we use Motion for our creative reporting, Adobe to do our editing. Using your own voice over AI. I mean, if you have a good voiceover voice, use yours. They're much more emotive, real voices often. We have found we've used an AI voiceover on a video, but then we've redone the video with a real voiceover, and it's actually performed better just because they could actually give out some proper emotion. Any motion discount? Unfortunately, no. Actually, no. Potentially. Potentially I might be able to hook you up. If you drop me a message on Twitter, I can put you in touch with the motion guys, and potentially there might be some discount there. Foreplay versus Atria, which one's your favorite? Foreplay. It's the same product, but I just think Foreplay are really in it, and it's run by creatives, which is really important. Use picture in CapCut for B-roll, finding it's not very good. Do you know anywhere else to get good B-roll? Yep. Go film the B-roll yourself. Go hire a creator. That's the best way to do it. Nothing is ever going to beat your actual shot content, right? Like, you know, just remember that. What else we got? Would you please send me this document and recording? I've signed up to Nice Ads. Great. So Nice Ads is my newsletter. I'll send out this deck in next week's newsletter. I'll probably link to the recording as well if Supliful can send that over to me. But Supliful, they're going to email you over everything after this webinar as well. You know, those are the guys who are hosting this, not me. But if you signed up to my newsletter, I send you 3 ad creatives every single week that I think are fantastic. So sign up to that if you enjoy geeking out over creatives. What else we got? Personally, what have worked for you best in supplement companies? Static or video ads? Video ads. Always, hands down. It educates people. People are very skeptical about supplements, and so the more you can educate them within a video, the better they perform. What's more important for a starter brand? To actually get sales with not much followers. Again, followers don't matter when it comes to paid social. Organic is great, especially if you're focusing on like TikTok Shop. Like, you know, I know that Supplement has the ability to sell on TikTok Shop. That's a great way there in order to build up your organic following. So yeah, definitely do that. TikTok Shop is mega. Scott Fisher, Fraser, this has been awesome. Appreciate your time. I know this is top of the funnels type stuff, but you've been awesome to work with when my brand's getting there. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, check out Fraggell.com. I'll post it on here as well. I'm sure Supliful will post it as well. But if you guys ever get to the point where you want some help, you know, get in touch and let me know. Why not Atria? I've explained why it's not great. Foreplay is run by creatives. They work with people like me to make the tool better, and I know they have some really cool stuff in the pipeline as well. Link to the newsletter. Supliful posted it for you there. Ever tried meme ads? Yes, I have. Meme ads, very careful because of copyright. You don't want to steal someone else's work, so don't do that. There's 2 more here. 30 to 60 second video ads, question mark. Sure. Yeah, it doesn't matter how long it is. Test everything and see what works. What would you recommend? What should be the best strategies to start Facebook ads? Just make some ads. That's the best way to do it. Just make ads. Honestly, that's the best thing to do. Just go and make some. Pick up your phone and go and create some. That's the best way to start. Do meme ads work? I've seen them work now and again. It really just does depend on what you're doing. Meme ads, if you run a lot of meme ads, you're just going to lower like the amount of like the value of the customer that you get. Like, think of the type of people that are going to be interacting with meme ads. It's not going to be people with a high AOV, etc., etc. Okay, guys, I think we're wrapping up here. So what I want to do is I'm going to post in the chat here my Twitter. You guys go there, follow me if you want. My newsletter is here as well. There you go. Supliful are beating me to it. Going away. I can see it. My newsletter's there as well, and then also we have. Oh wait, have I been? Oh, guys, I know why. I've been talking to the host and panelists, not to everyone, when I've been posting stuff. Thank you, Supliful. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Good to see the face behind Nice Ads. Thank you very much, sir. It's me every single Friday typing it out. Barney, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, follow me on X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. LinkedIn, just search out my name, Fraser. But I've really appreciated this, guys. Thank you so much for coming around. Thank you very much, Supliful, for having me. It's been a real privilege to be asked to do this. And who knows, maybe I will launch Buzzin. Who knows?Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. It's been a real privilege to do this. Have a great. I thought someone was speaking outside my office door, and I'm the only one in here. Then that was very, very strange. Okay. Appreciate it, guys. Have a great day, a great evening. Follow me on Twitter. Nice ads. Subscribe, and I'll see you all, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.